Hello and welcome to the MVCC Football Game of the Week, powered by City Barbecue Miami Valley Adapted Sports. It's week number 10, and that means we kick off the final week of the 2017 football season. We're here at Centerville Stadium in Centerville, Ohio, where the 8-1 Centerville Elks are set to host the 6-3 Beavercreek Beavers. It's 55 degrees and overcast with a chance of rain tonight. Somewhat typical weather for the last week of football in the Miami Valley. Quick recap of how each team's fared last week. First off, Jeff, how'd the visiting Beavers do?
Well, Jared, the Beavers won last week on their senior night over the visiting Miamisburg Vikings. The Beavers won 21-0 with an impressive running attack from quarterback Cody Hawker. Hawker had 15 carries for 78 yards and all of the Beavers' touchdowns. The win kept the Beavers' slim chance at the playoffs alive, but they still have a strong challenge tonight against the Centerville Elks. And Jared, how did the Elks fare last week against the heated rivalry game against Firebird?
Last week, that was our week number 9 game of the week. Centerville got back to their winning ways again last week with an impressive 15 win over the Firebirds. The big surprise was that the Elks sort of used the Firebirds' offense against themselves with quarterback Alec Granding run for 100 yards and 4 touchdowns. The Elks already have a playoff home game locked up, and at minimum, a share of the GWalk National East Division. With a win tonight, the Elks win the division title outright and clinch the number 1 seed for Division I Region 4. And they'll be hosting a playoff game next week here. Quick recap of last year's game. Last year, these teams put on a heck of a game. The Elks won 31-28. The Elks at one point were down 28-17 in the game, but 3 fourth-quarter touchdowns from Alec Grandin helped them come back and score on the game's final possession. Jeff, Beavercreek has a good head coach so far with his 4th year with Nicholas Black, so what do we know about him?
Well, Coach Nicholas Black for Beavercreek has a 6-3 record this year so far, has a 2019 overall record with Beavercreek, 6 seasons as Springborough's defensive coordinator and assistant head coach, so history's there. 2 years as a University of Dayton assistant head coach and defensive coordinator. His defense was number 1 in the nation in those 2 years, Jared. And what can you tell us about Centerville's first-year head coach, Brent Ulrey?
Brent Ulrey, he's 8-1 so far record this year. Centerville alumni, played wide receiver from 99 to 2002 here. 5-year walk-on receiver at Ohio State. He got his first coaching job as a wide receivers coach here for Centerville in 2008. Then left for Dublin Kaufman as an assistant coach from 2009 to 2013, and came back here in 2014 to the same wide receivers position until he took over the head coaching job this year. And he is the son of former longtime Centerville head coach successor Ron Ulrey, who's the coach offensive coordinator down at Springboro now. Jeff, what has to happen for the Beavers to keep their postseason chances alive tonight?
Well, first of all, Jared, we're going to start with the offensive side of the ball, and Caden Wenger is the first key. The senior running back has been unstoppable this season. Wenger comes in with 1,314 rushing yards and 10 touchdowns. In last year's game against the Elks, he had 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. So for the Beavers to have a chance, they need to give this senior running back his touches. Been that way all year, Jared. The offensive line needs to show up to give Caden Wenger the holes that he needs to try and get out in the open field. If the Beavers want to win this game, then their chances will depend on how well this offensive line can open up for them. And on defense, contain Alec Grandin. This guy's so dangerous. We saw it last week. Senior quarterback, been virtually flawless this year at the quarterback position for the Elks, which is probably the reason they started 7-0. He's piled up over 1,800 yards so far and 18 touchdowns, 250 rushing yards, 6 rushing touchdowns on the ground, only 3 interceptions on the year. Grandin is going to be the one to watch tonight, as he also has the ability to tuck it and run. And also, Jake Spiewak and Donnie Shelton, stopping those two on defense will be very essential for the Beavers. This year, these two have been deadly for opposing offenses. Over 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns between the two of Alec Grandin's stats. If the Beavers want to win, they have to contain those two, along with quarterback Alec Grandin. Jared, what has to happen for the Elks tonight to keep on their winning streak?
On the offensive side of the ball, all Alec Grandin has to be mistake-free. Quarterback who has been virtually flawless to this point needs to have another big night. It's senior night, so don't let the emotions get to you during the game. the Elks and Grandin still have the playoffs looking ahead of them, as they've already clinched their spot, and they don't need to get off track. Only 3 interceptions on the year. Centerville does not need to roll over in this game and give Beavercreek a chance, because Beavercreek, if they get any sort of chance in this game, Beavercreek will try and get back into this. Defensively, they need to stop Caden Wenger. Like you said, he's unstoppable in all terms. I mean, he's the elusiveness, the speed, the ability to break away from close or from the tackles. If the Elks want to try and win tonight, they need to stop this running back. Second one, limit penalties. Some younger players out there on the team in some spots, and penalties are the number one drive killer for you defensively. And against this Beavers squad, you need to utilize every possession for you. Just like the Firebirds last week, the Beavers also have the ability to hold onto the ball for almost the entire quarter. So you need to get them off the field when you can. And finally, you need to force turnovers. It's a cliche in any defensive game, but it keeps – I mean, if you force turnovers defensively, your offense doesn't have to work as hard. It's
common sense.
It's common sense, like you said. And now it looks like it's time for predictions. Jeff, who do you think's going to win tonight and why?
Well, I'll retain my prediction from last week. I'm going with Centerville again, Jared. Same answer, man. You saw how finely tuned that offense ran behind Alec Grandin. And the kid, I'm convinced this offense can do anything. How conceptually smart they are when it comes to the game of football. I think Centerville, the sky is the limit this year, and they should be looking to make a deep playoff run. What about you, Jared?
I'm going to pick the Centerville Oaks, too. It's senior night. This senior class is going to go out with a win. I mean, it won't be their last game at Centerville because they will play a home game here next week, but it'll be the last regular season game. I think the Elks are going to come out on top with dominating fashion. It looks like getting ready for senior night festivities, so we're going to toss it over to the PA announcer, and we'll be back after that, the national anthem for tonight's MVCC varsity football game of the week finale here at Centerville Stadium.
And now for our 2017 senior football players. Grant Buzzard is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Bobby and Maria Buzzard. Caleb Cross is accompanied by his parents, Kevin Sr. and Zienab, his mother, and his brother Kyler and sisters, Cadence and Caitlin. Yassine Elian, along with his parents, Sam and Malaika Elian. Evan Fransman is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Ken and Linda Fransman. Ross Garrett is accompanied on the field tonight by his parents, Josh and Jill, his uncle Mike, and his sisters, Brooke and Josie, and his grandparents. Alec Grandin is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Chuck and Jackie Grandin, his brother Charlie, and his sister Caroline. Aaron Gregory is on the field tonight with his parents, Jean and Veronica Gregory. Dylan Howler is joined on the field tonight with his father, Rob Howler, his mother and stepfather, Lisa Howler Bent and Dave Bent, his brother, Cameron Howler, stepbrother, Josh Bent, stepsister, Cora Bent, and his grandparents, Dan and Judy Dillman. Greg Hargrove is accompanied by his parents, David and Sydney Hargrove, and his brother, Lucas. Ross Harmon is joined on the field with his parents, Christy and Andy Harmon, and his sister, Kirsten. Christian Harshbarger is escorted on the field tonight by his parents, Kent and Kelly Harshbarger, and his sister, Caroline. I have no idea where they're at as far as the lineup. Henderson's next. Is that anywhere where we're... I'm looking at the people walking out on the 50. Okay. Javon Henderson is joined on the field with his mother, Heather Henderson, and his father, Jamar Reed. I'm behind them? Oh, two. Okay, gotcha. It's a good pace. Trey King is accompanied on the field by his parents, Travis and Patsy King, and his brothers, Chris and Landon. Anthony McGrillis is escorted on the field tonight with his parents, Jerry and Karen McGrillis. Justin Murray joined on the field with his parents, Dave Murray and Marie Murray. Riley Polton is accompanied tonight by his parents, Matt and Suzanne, and his sisters, Faith and Taylor. Dom Ramsey is joined on the field with his parents, Ed and Laura Ramsey, his brother, Allende, and sisters, Basha and Chloe. Jake Ranke is with his parents, Phil and Debbie Ranke, and his brothers, Tyler and CJ. Ian Rothery is on the field with his parents, Sean Rothery and Nicole Rothery. Evan Sizer is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Chris and Melanie. Donnie Shelton is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Daryl and Cynthia Shelton, and his sister, Darson. Cody Smith is joined with his parents, Debbie, Ernie, and Mac, along with his sister, Heather, and his niece, Madison. Jake Sneed is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Jeff and Carla Sneed, and his sister, Ella. Jake Spiewak is accompanied on the field by his parents, Lori and John Spiewak, his big brother, Tyler, and his little sister, Ellie. Sam Vance is joined on the field with his parents, Rick and Judy Vance, and his brother, Will. Logan York is joined on the field tonight with his parents, Todd and Angie York, his sister, Kaylee, and his grandparents, Rick and Diana York. Thank you and congratulations to all those dedicated young people. The Centerville staff and community thank you for your dedication and wish you all the best in your future endeavors.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we would like to recognize the senior members of the Centerville Jazz Band who will be performing this evening in their final regular season football game in the Centerville Stadium. Seniors, please step forward and meet your families at the front of the field. Announcing this year's senior class. Kelly Beavers, daughter of George and Wendy Beavers, she is a 4-year member of the CJB. Cameron Bennett, daughter of Mike and Connie Bennett. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Abigail Bischoff, daughter of Cheryl and Andrew Bartlett. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Benjamin Biswas, son of Christy Mickelson and Ann Biswas. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Liliana Biswas, daughter of Ann Biswas and Christy Mickelson. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Logan Crouch, son of John and Janelle Crouch. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Jasmine Donofsky, daughter of Dan Donofsky and April Juan Lee. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Jacob Enting, son of Matt and Mona Lisa Enting. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Noah Feingold, son of Mark Feingold and Carol Vishen. He is a 2-year member of the CJB. Elizabeth Gaines, daughter of Tim Gaines and Jane Linker. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Rebecca Gruenberg, daughter of Angela and Mark Gruenberg. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Emily Hedge, daughter of Gary and Wendy Hedge. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Cody and Michael Hine, sons of Dean and Mindy Hine. They are both 4-year members of the CJB. Lilith Holloway, daughter of Chris and Ermila Holloway. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Brenna Kernan, daughter of Stacy Daniel and Todd Kernan. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Peyton Kick, son of Fran and Judy Kick. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Carter Lovings, son of Gary and Kimberly Lovings. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Marcy Malloy, daughter of Doug and Heidi Malloy. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Olivia McNamara, daughter of Jerry Bender and Adam McNamara. She is a 3-year member of the CJB. Sarah Miller, daughter of Chuck and Karen Miller. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Rachel Moyer, daughter of Carol and Rick Moyer. She is a 2-year member of the CJB. Adam Peters, son of Mark and Kelly Peters. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. James Pitts, son of Randall Pitts and Leah Kaufman. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Strader Poindexter, son of James and Dawn Poindexter. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Mary Robinson, daughter of Amy and Nick Minda and Mark and Carrie Robinson. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Jared Shackelford, son of Leslie Walker. He is a 3-year member of the CJB. Matt Sierra, son of Lori Sierra. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Michael Smith, son of Suzanne and Will Smith. He is a 3-year member of the CJB. Colin Taylor, son of Nicole Taylor. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Grant Tetarovich, son of Rick and Denise Tetarovich. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Emma Thompson, daughter of Amy and Eric Thompson. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Carmen Tibbs, daughter of Kelly Jenkins. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Rain Todd, daughter of Natalie Blommel and Nicholas Garrison. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Gabe Von Eschen, son of Charlie and Jen Von Eschen. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Emily West, daughter of Phil and Kathy West. She is a 4-year member of the CJB. Jonathan West, son of Phil and Kathy West. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. Luke Woods, son of John and Holly Woods. He is a 4-year member of the CJB. These young adults have worked, practiced, and performed diligently during their high school years to promote school spirit and to entertain the football crowd. They have represented our community and our school well. The band program is proud of these seniors and all that they have accomplished. Seniors, we thank you. Please stand for the Centerville High School alma mater.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a country of freedoms like no other. So at this time, if you would please rise, remove your caps, and stand and join in the honoring of America with the singing of the Star-Spangled Banner. Sign language interpretation is being performed tonight by band member Michael Hine.
All right, both teams are on the field, and we're ready to kick off the final week of the 2017 regular football season. Looks like Beavercreek won the toss and elected to defer, so they will be kicking off in the white tops and orange pants. Centerville will be receiving in the All Blacks jersey.
And Beavercreek will, as usual, be wielding female kicker Marcella Cash.
Number 13 for the Beaver, 6'2".
Very talked about. 6'2". That's what it's listed as. Huh. Does not look like she is
No.
6'2" at all.
And it's an high onside kick fielded by the Elks right at the 40. And they're out to about the 45.
And that was number 16, Evan Franzman, fielding that one. So Centerville will have the ball first. As we dive into this Week 10 matchup, last week of high school football. Well, what are your thoughts on how this year has gone compared to how you thought it was going to go, Jared?
For both teams?
Some of the standouts, yeah.
For Centerville, I'm surprised Centerville started off 7-0, to be honest, with a first-year head coach with Brent Ulrey. As you see, Alec Grandin back deep to pass, throws it out complete to number 14 for the Elks.
It's J.R. Melzer, the junior wide receiver.
Tackled by number 4 and 31 for the Beavers. That is Chris Lawrence and Bryce Noyce.
And Bryce Noyce is a guy that is a very talked about player on this defense. 31 tackles, a sack, and 5 picks from the outside linebacker position.
Grandin back in shotgun formation again, and it's a slant. No, Grandin's going to tuck it and run and pick up about 4 on the play. Tackled by number 59 of the Beavers. I do not have a 59. Was 69. Reese Blackmore. But like I was saying about the Elks, I mean, first-year head coach coming in. I mean, he's been in the system for 5 total years. I'm kind of surprised that they go 8-1.
Well, it looks like he's developed his own little system of offense, and it has worked out very good this year as Grandin is back to pass once again.
And that one is intercepted by the Beavers. That is number 8. That is Maurice Wilson. And Alec Grandin, like we were saying, has to play mistake-free, and he has his first interception of the game.
And that is his 4th this year, Jared. Not very characteristic about Grandin there. Either overthrew a route or underthrew a route. It's a miscommunication there. Definitely did not look like the Centerville offense at all.
Maybe if we could see a replay of that last play, see where. Well, I didn't see any elk in the receiver, so it had to have been a miscommunication on the routes. But right now, the Beavers are in offense, and that kid right there at the back, number 44, Caden Wenger, is going to get the ball almost all night tonight.
And there we go, the other number 44 who we need to talk about, Max Wynn. He has giving it his all this season on the defensive side of the ball for Centerville. 2.5 sacks, 77 tackles. He does stuff, forcing fumbles, fumble recoveries. Anything you want, that kid does. And the leader of this defense, no doubt, number 44, Max Wynn. So Caden Wenger, a guy that we've talked about in pregame, a guy that we talked about last year, a guy that we've talked about this year. He keeps on forcing his name in our mouths, and he is such a great player.
Here goes a pitch out to number 50. No, that's 33.
It's 32.
32, Sebastian Rendon, and he'll be close to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of, he's out to the 36 or 34.
Sebastian Rendon has been the halfback, per se, because Caden Wenger's more of the fullback, and
Power running back.
yeah. So Rendon, 228 yards on the year and 2 touchdowns before that play. Right there, Cody Hawker behind center.
Cody Hawker fakes the pitch out. He's rolling to the right. Hawker throws it down the field, and it's almost intercepted. Should have held on, Donnie Shelton. Kind of interesting that he didn't come up with that catch. He's a spectacular receiver on offense.
Yeah, Shelton there on the defense. Also, Riley Polton had an opportunity to make a play on that ball. As you can see on the City Barbecue replay, Hawker dropped back, fake play action.
It was intended to number 9, Drew Nandon.
Tries to zoom it in there, and that was actually Riley Polton, number 6, who dropped the pick, but great defense now, and that'll bring the ball 3rd and 6.
That'll be 4th and 6.
4th and 6,
Beavercreek's
actually.
going for it. No, they're going to drop the punter back
That'll be a last-second punt.
by number 16, Brett Cherry. And this one rolls down, and it's fielded at the 26.
It's Riley Polton at number 6, the senior wide receiver on the play.
That was a dangerous punt to go down to the ground and get that one.
Yeah, definitely. Apparently knew what it was doing there. You see the punt there, kind of sideways.
I mean, he was on the ground when he caught this.
Yeah, he saw the guy.
He was lucky that number 12, or that he held on to it, or Jacob Maloney, number 12, would have picked it up and ran it for a touchdown.
Yeah, Jake Maloney has also been a good player for the Beavercreek Beavers this season. And so on that cue, that'll bring out Alec Grandin for his second drive of the game already, 2.5 minutes through.
Grandin's going to hand it off. I believe that's Harmon, isn't it?
Ross
Number
Harmon
30.
up the middle.
And he'll have about a gain of close to the first down. They'll call it 9.5 he gains out to the 31.
You can see on the City Barbecue replay, the 2 running backs just split, and Ross Hartman has a really big hole up the middle, runs through it for a first down. 3 receivers set here for Alec Grandin.
And I bet he's going to hand it off to
4
Harmon.
receivers set, actually. Sorry about that.
And Alec Grandin pulls it back. And that's a completion out to the middle of the field to Donnie Shelton, number 3. Tackled by number 10, Jordan Williams.
See, those little concepts that the Centerville Elks run so well is what makes their offense. It pieces it together. As you can see on the City Barbecue replay, little play action, slant straight up through that seam in the middle to
Number
Donnie
12,
Shelton.
Maloney there with a tackle, too. Shelton's lucky he held on to that one.
Oh, yeah, Shelton. Well, that's something these receivers have done really well this season is going towards the middle of the field where those linebackers kind of play. They hold onto that ball.
Well, last week in our game of the week, all Centerville's receivers do is go out 8 yards, cut in for a slant.
And Grandin dropped back past the Polton.
And Polton will lose about a yard on the play.
So not savvy play calling there by the Centerville Elks, and that'll bring it into second down.
Second and about 11. That's Noyce again with the tackle. But, Centerville has been absolutely flawless. Their receivers are going. There hasn't really been any mismanagement on time routes.
Yeah, and they run the gun mostly, and their offense has been so successful as Grandin.
And there's a completion. Is that Spiewak?
No, that's Trey King.
Oh, okay.
Completion to Trey King. Another one, and that's going to be for a first down.
And guess again with the tackle on that one, Bryce Noyce.
Yeah, Bryce Noyce has come in and tried to replace the.
Number 12, correction, Jacob Maloney.
Well, speaking of Bryce Noyce, he come in and tried to replace that awesome D2 linebacker who ended up going D2, Jackson Nipper from last year.
I was
very
going to
good
ask if
force.
you knew what happened to him.
Yeah, I think he went to some Division II college. I don't know, but very relevant force
Play
on the
clock's
defense.
down to 2. That should have been a delay game, but they get it off. And that is behind the intended receiver. I believe that was number 11.
So
King.
here we go. The second time tonight already. Alec Grandin has a badly timed pass. We didn't see that at all at Fairmont, and not much of the whole season.
He got rid of it quickly. 58, Demetrius Hardman.
And you see number 5 coming back from the line, Adam Grader, also covering that seam down the middle. So good job by the Beavercreek defense, and now it's going to be 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 from the 36. Grandin will be in shotgun. Grandin going to throw it immediately out to King, and King is tackled immediately by number 12, Jacob Maloney.
Great job holding on to that ball.
I thought
the guy
he
was,
dropped it.
Yeah, as you see on the replay.
You just watch him come up. He knows he's going to take a hit, but I didn't think he was anticipating that hard of a hit from Maloney.
Well, as soon as he got hit on impact, he almost dropped the ball, and it kind of lingered around his groin, and he held it on from it. He held on to it from there.
As you see the rain beginning to fall here on senior night, the final week.
That's the first hint of a lot of expected rain, Jared.
Grandin rolling out, a pass down, and that is
It's going to be incomplete.
That is a catch.
Whoa!
What a catch on the sideline
Trey
by
King.
Polton. Oh, is that King or Polton?
It's Trey King once again coming down with the catch. Now look at this replay. Alec Grandin rolling out to the right. Straight line beamer to Trey King, and it bounced around as he was going towards the out-of-bounds line. I thought it was out of his hands, but
I
apparently
thought it
wasn't.
was too, but heads up work along the sidelines as the rain is really coming down.
Yeah,
now.
and Grandin's going to be in a 5-receiver set now on 1st down.
Grandin back to pass, throws it outside to Shelton. And you wonder if the wet ball
Yeah,
has
here we
something to do
go.
with that
Here
one.
we go. We talked about this before the game, Jared.
This is where the tide begins to turn. Centerville a pass-heavy offense, and Beavercreek with a run-heavy offense.
Well, let's see
with
if
the inability to maybe catch a wet ball.
we'll see if they can break out their abilities from last week against Fairmont and start running the ball with force.
Well, the only one back there to run it now is Grandin.
5 receivers set again. On 2nd and 10 this time, Grandin takes the snap now.
Grandin back to pass, heavy pressure, screen pass.
Spiewak.
Spiewak
has the
at
seam.
10. Spiewak
Oh my
hurls over the defender
goodness.
for a touchdown.
Jake Spiewak with his 8th touchdown reception of the season. Alec Grandin's 19th passing touchdown. As you can see on the City Barbecue replay, it's a screen from the start. Defensive line busts through past Spiewak.
Watch this at the end. He's at the 10, and watch him hurdle Maloney into the end zone.
He kind of shoves him to the right, too. He's like, get out of my way. I got somewhere to be. And Jake Spiewak takes it in, and that's going to be a Centerville 6.
Brandon Walters on to kick the extra point for the Elks.
Yeah.
Low kick, and it's sideways, but it's good.
Yeah,
Walters
he had
some
trouble
issues
last week.
missing 3 extra points. But with 6:16 left in the first quarter, the Elks strike first on, what was that, about a 20-yard wide receiver screen pass?
Yeah, a little under 20 yards, but definitely a good amount to go. And on senior night, some seniors kicking it off the right way. After the pick, Grandin takes Centerville down the field, marching in for 7. Spiewak and Grandin have just been going ballistic this season, being perhaps one of the top quarterback wide receiver duos in all of GWalk. Grandin eclipsing 1,900 passing yards with that drive and 19 passing touchdowns. And as I said a few seconds ago, Jake Spiewak with 58 receptions, over 800 yards, and 8 receiving touchdowns. And that means Centerville and Brandon Walters will kick off here to the Beavers.
Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by the Miami Valley Communications Council and media students from Kettering, Fairmont, and West Carrollton High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this games and others throughout the season. Also like to remind you, we're getting ready for basketball. Something I'm ready for. We still got playoffs underway.
Oh,
And a
squib.
Squib kick fielded by number 31. That is Bryce Noyce with the ability, nice catch off the kick.
And junior defensive back for Centerville, Kyle Moyer, on that tackle. And so as the rain pours, the more
Oh
it comes
my.
down, it plays into Beavercreek's hands.
I know.
And Beavercreek has all the capabilities to run it all over whoever they face. Cody Hawker has been there all season, and Caden Wenger. That duo has been able to rip through.
With the rain, it also takes out punts too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean,
Makes them a lot harder, a lot more difficult.
Catching it off that. It'll be interesting to see how each coach adapts to this play calling. And the quarterback keeps it, and he's hit in the backfield. That is number 9, Drew Nanda, and he was hit so hard his mouthpiece came out on that one, and he's slow to get up.
Number 21, senior Dom Ramsey, the defensive back on the play, and I have never seen a triple option read so well, Jared. Oh my good,
I've never seen a triple option from Beavercreek.
They covered every single possible seam as soon as the play started. Great defense by Centerville.
And Nanda goes to the sideline as he was very slow to get up from that one.
Yeah, the offensive line just fell apart that one. Centerville telegraphed.
Number 4, Chris
Beavercreek all the
Lawrence.
way.
Chris Lawrence checks into the game to replace Nanda.
So here we go. Hawker again under center now. And
Hawker keeps it. Hawker will be out to the original line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 2.
Good
from
stiff
there.
arm there from the quarterback.
So it'll be 3rd and 8, tackled by number 16 of the Elks.
Evan Franzman. Senior defensive back, number
3rd
16.
and 9. Let's see if the Beavers have an answer in the rain.
And 3rd and longs are always tough for teams like Beavercreek and Fairmont.
The inability to really pass, but
and here we go. They tried to get him to jump off sides, and I think it's going to be a timeout here for Beavercreek.
timeout by Beavercreek.
And really looked lost after they got out there, Jared. As soon as
The unawareness of the play clock, or that the clock didn't stop, I don't know, but
as soon as they got out there, they started kind of looking around, a little frantic-y. And 3rd and 9 will hold up, and Beavercreek using the first timeout for both teams this game.
tonight's MVCC Game of the Week is sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information. I mean, on 3rd and 9, what if you're Beavercreek's offense, what do you draw up?
I think what you try to do is isolate Caden Wenger to one side, maybe with a motion or something of that sort. Run to the opposite side of the wide receiver and see what he can try to do in open field. And they try to get him to jump again, the same exact play call, except number 5.
Adam Grader takes off running to the sideline.
So now they got 2 wide receivers out.
And the play clock's down to 5, and I don't think the quarterback knows it. Play clock's at 1. He gets it off. Hawker going to fake it, throws it out to Lawrence. Lawrence makes 2 people miss, and he's tackled at the 40, which will be about 4 yards short of the first down. Now it'll be interesting to see what Beavercreek does.
Well, I don't know. It's going to be really difficult to punt it there,
And I think they're going to go for it. I mean, Beavercreek, they have to win tonight for their playoff stage.
Yeah, and they've also shown the ability to, be very willful with the ball. If they can't get there.
It was an excellent screen. There was just no blocking.
Yeah, no blocking whatsoever.
I mean, the linemen were slow getting out there, and Beavercreek is going to go for it.
Also, good job by Lawrence to break those tackles and make something out of nothing.
And then there was a good tackle at the end by Vance.
Looks like it's going to be a punt here. And it will be.
A punt trailing towards the sideline, and see where the refs say it'll go out of bounds.
It's going to be the 35, Jared. No, I mean the 25.
Well, they're at the 30 and still walking up. Maybe you were right with the original call at the 35.
Alrighty.
All right.
Close
So
to the 35.
you were wrong, but right.
Alrighty. So that's going to bring out Grandin once again, and this is not what you want to see if you're Beavercreek.
No.
Alec Grandin having the ball
Look
3 times in the
at all
first
those
quarter.
stickers on the side of his helmet. That just shows how much work he's done this year.
Yeah, Alec Grandin has been putting in work. Marks 25 total touchdowns for him on the year. A very tough mark to eclipse in G-Walk football.
Grandin hands off to Harmon. And nice. Well,
Ross Harmon
breaks
still fighting.
tackles, and he has enough for a first down out close to the midfield. Tackled by number 12, Jacob Maloney. Finally wraps him up and brings him down.
So because of the success of Centerville's passing offense, that guy has kind of been blanketed this year.
He should have been stopped right there. But number 4, Chris Lawrence, lets him go.
Well, Ross Harmon shows so much hustle, and he keeps on turning his legs no matter what.
And Grandin gets the ball this time, and nice open field tackle by the Beavers. First hit goes to number 69, Reese Blackmore. And that's just something the Firebirds were inability to do last week, was to get Grandin on the ground in open field.
Well, quarterback runs is what they've had in trouble with in general all this year. And so that wasn't a surprise to see Grandin. Well, it was a surprise to a certain extent, but
all right. I mean, Grandin came in with 156 total yards in last week's game, and he runs for 100.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns. And I think it was less Fairmont's inability to stop Grandin and more Centerville's ability to play call.
In a penalty against the Elks, a delay of game.
That's going to be 2nd and 20, Jared. It's a tough mark now.
I don't think a 2nd and 20. It looks like the rain sort of slowed down a little bit, maybe. Harmon gets the carry up the middle, and Harmon will have about an 8 or 9 yard gain.
Wow.
Grader with the tackle there.
That guy has some serious power. Ross Harmon straight up the middle. As you can see on the City Barbecue replay, he blasts through that hole between the left guard and the center and knocks over the linebacker before he can even react to Ross Harmon.
I think Harmon got there quicker than what the linebacker thought.
Great job by number 30 on that run. 4 receivers back for Grandin in their shotgun set now.
And there's another flag against the Elks. False start will back them up 5 more, so it'll be 3rd and 18. And that was a false start on number 11 for the Elks. I believe that's King.
Trey King been putting in some useful work tonight in the slot position. It's a pretty big mistake there, and that'll push it to 3rd and 18.
If this is for Beavercreek, you need to get a stop here.
Oh, absolutely. The Elks are more than capable of getting this. Just make them earn it.
And I think they just got it out of bounds.
Oh, my goodness. Did he catch that?
Let's see what the ref says. And incomplete, out of bounds.
Well, nonetheless, great body.
Let's look. Let's take a look here and see if it's a catch.
Brandon lobs it up for Spiewak on the sideline. 1, 2. Oh,
no,
his
foot
was on the sideline.
Well, no, he only got to get 1 in high school, but it looked like he had the first one came down out of bounds too. Would have been a highlight play on senior night for both seniors. But Maloney back deep to receive this punt. A low punt. And it bounces out of bounds. Let's see where the refs mark this one at.
It's going to be around the 30.
They're up to the 35.
So Beavercreek had to get that stop, and thanks to Centerville mistakes, they get it. So now Beavercreek is all of a sudden.
Beavercreek is back into this game.
Yeah.
I mean, after we thought the Beavers were out.
So still showing a lot of life here early.
And Hawker keeps it. And Hawker's brought down hard on the play by number 44, Win of the Elks.
Number 44 already making 2 pretty good tackles tonight. Mentioned him earlier. We expect him to be everywhere. See him now, number 44. Now Beavercreek, Hawker. And these Beavers are coming back under this ball. 2nd and 7.
Wanger gets the pitch to the outside. Wanger has the edge, and he's out across the 40, out to about the 43.
So that's going to put it to 3rd and 3 now. for the Beavers.
Winger moves up to the 47-yard line, which makes it 3rd and 3.
You see on the replay there, Hawker straight to the pitch. And good work of blocking on the outside on number 31, Bryce Noyce.
And
Yeah.
Beavercreek tried to hurry up, and Hawker goes back for about a 2-yard loss.
And Max Wynn and Dom Ramsey on the play there.
And I think that one will be the final play of the quarter. Let's see if Beavercreek even wants to try and hike it.
Nope. They
I
are
don't-
reluctant.
So they're going to walk to the other end of the field. And that'll do it for the first quarter in our MVCC Week number 10 City Barbecue Game of the Week. Centerville leads 7-0 early over the Beavers. Anything really surprise you in that first quarter?
How many mistakes were made by Centerville's offense?
I counted 2.
Yeah, I feel like
The pick from Grandin.
well, I think the false start should count too. All the penalties really weighed down on that last drive. They could have broke the game open with that, and they just didn't. But by all means, Centerville controlling every aspect of this game still in the first quarter.
I've never seen 3 delay of games on one drive from one team.
Yeah, Centerville definitely carrying over some needed momentum from last week's win and this one. As for a good part of the season, Beavercreek was the only team to beat Fairmont at first until they started playing some really tough teams in the division, Wayne and Centerville. So Beavercreek definitely capable, as their 6-3 record is showing, but
Yeah, they still have a chance.
and they're
But, I
gonna,
mean, a lot of stuff has to happen their way. They have to win.
they're gonna have to get this offensive line going. I think that's the biggest part of their offense that's failing right now.
And that's the big thing. I mean, if you don't win tonight, there's no sense in scoreboard watching to see anything else. And that kick will go out at the 29-yard line.
And here comes Grandin again. So
I mean,
very quick three series by
the Beavers.
Beavercreek.
But I mean,
I wasn't expecting that, honestly. I thought they'd get at least one first down by now.
I'm surprised too.
Centerville very stifling initially.
I mean, we have 2 teams officially in the playoffs, and Centerville and Valley View, and has the possibility for 3 other teams to make the playoffs, and Miamisburg, Fairmont, and Oakwood. And Harmon has a huge first down run out to the 37-yard line.
So since the rain has been pouring down, we've seen a lot more of Harmon.
You see there in the run, a big run and tackled by number 2, Trevor Boyer, and number 12, Jacob Maloney. And a good read by Grandin, and Grandin's out to midfield.
So another impactful run by Centerville, and keeps the rhythm going for the drive. So at midfield, he gets tackled.
Grandin in shotgun formation. Shelton gets the handoff, and Shelton is tackled in the backfield for a big loss by number 69, Reese Blackmore.
Blackmore making plays tonight.
That's about a 5-yard loss on the play, 2nd and 15.
And the rain keeps on accelerating. 11 minutes now left in this first half.
Looking at the weather before the game, this band of rain is just going to sit right over Dayton for at least the next 2 or 3 hours till about midnight. So I mean,
No, that's not by any means going to stop these guys from playing. as
nope,
you
not
see so far.
unless that L word happens.
Don't say it, Jared.
I didn't say it.
That's it. City Barbecue replay shows
Harmon with just, I'm going to run up. He is back to the original line of scrimmage for 3rd and 10.
And as soon as he senses a hit coming, he
He
embraces
lowers it
fully.
He's like, well, I'm going to hit you.
Play action by Alec Grandin. Beautiful
Trey
throw.
King. Trey King has the first down.
So under pressure, dead point accuracy by Alec Grandin on the move to the right. Straight to Trey King in the slot.
Tackled to Maloney, and Grandin took a low hit on that one.
Good composure by the senior quarterback.
Just the ability to stand in there and wait until the last possible second to throw that one away. And Grandin hit as he throws this one, and somehow the defender turns around. Incomplete.
Good.
Intended to Jake Spiewak.
Good jump ball battle, but that offensive line has to start recognizing those blitzes.
That right side, the last two plays, Grandin has taken 2 big hits. And Spiewak's lucky he didn't get called for offensive pass interference with that push-off.
Yeah, and you saw Matthew DeShields come on the blitz last time. Outside linebacker. So
2nd and 10. I believe Harmon should get this one.
Beavercreek blitzing again.
Harmon gets it, and Harmon bursts through the outside. He's to the left. He's at the 25, and he's down to the 20, tackled by number 8, Maurice Wilson.
And if we can get a replay right there, you'll see
That was an all-out blitz.
All 7 guys from the box come straight at the line of scrimmage. Ross Harmon just goes right past them on the left side.
Well, it's an excellent read by Grandin.
I hope he was going to make the right read. There were 6 guys ready to plow him right there.
He was about to be on the bottom of a dog pile. But a nice first down run for Ross Harmon. And he gets the ball again, and he's still going down inside the 15.
Do his legs stop moving? I just don't know. This kid has
Probably not until he goes to bed at night.
He is showing so much hustle and determination these past 2 weeks for the MVCC Game of the Week. As you can see on the City Barbecue replay, it goes straight up the middle.
And look, he drug, I believe that was number, 74, Trevor Conley with him.
And he keeps on churning. Alec Grandin receiving orders from the sideline. 3 receivers set, 2 backs in the
I don't know
backfield.
what the order should be except for hand it off to Harmon. The last 3 plays have all turned into first downs. Grandin actually going to throw it to Spiewak. Spiewak has it. No, incomplete.
Last second
Let's see
fell
what
out
happens.
of his hands. There's no way that's a fumble at all. That was an incomplete pass. Jake Spiewak.
No, they called a fumble, and let's see what the refs say.
What?
It is a fumble. He catches it and makes the football move upfield. See, there's 1, 2,
But
and
no,
then he drops it.
yeah, I just think that was
It's a completion.
What?
Because he took 2 steps. As soon as you take those 2 steps upfield.
But he just didn't finish the catch though. See, that's why they.
Yeah, it's 1st and goal from the 4. Luckily, I mean, there was 1 elk there and Spiewak to get it between the 3 beavers.
So Grandin dropping back now.
Grandin not going to hand it off to Harmon. Grandin pass up the middle, caught by Shelton. No, incomplete. Heads up defense there by Maloney. That one looked a little bit behind Shelton. I say you target that one again, or you rub Shelton with a rub route, maybe, on a crossing pattern between him and King on the
I
outside.
feel like they're going to hand it off here.
They'll probably do that because I just talked about what they should have done.
Grandin back.
Harmon gets the carry, and Harmon, that's the first time Harmon's been hit at the line of scrimmage.
A good play coming off the edge. Bryce Noyce there.
Noyce with to hit him to slow him down, and Grader with the tackle, actually.
And we can hear the rain on top of the press box now, Jared. It is coming down.
Pelting.
It is coming down, so we'll see if that'll affect Grandin in the passing game at all, as it's not shown he's going to slow him down anytime soon, especially that boy number 30 coming out the backfield.
Grandin, miscommunication in the backfield, and Grandin will run and almost has the ball stripped out, but he's down to maybe the 3-yard line, and it'll be down to the 2. 4th and goal to go.
It didn't seem like they knew what was going on there as Grandin tries to hand it off to 2 guys.
Harmon's like, no, I'm supposed to block.
Maybe it was a read option. I don't know.
They
Whatever it was.
they all ran into each other, so
Whatever
nobody
it was,
read it.
It was not successful, and that'll bring out the field goal unit for the Centerville Elks.
Walter's kick is up and good.
So 10-0 here in the rainy game between Centerville and Beavercreek. So that'll be halfway through the second quarter just about. Centerville will give the ball back to Hawker, Wenger, and the Beavers. Something. Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable, Channel 21, or MVCC.net. Hashtag City Barbecue Replay. Go to MVCC.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in the conversation using the hashtag City Barbecue Replay. And so here we go, the kickoff by Walters. Centerville, their kickoff formation. I don't know. They're the only one that has one, but
They're the only one that I've seen ever line up like this.
it's good. Every team should have an identity. Every team should have a thing. This is their thing, Good for them. There we go, Shelton leading that kickoff team. Get ready.
And Walter's kick is a line drive or a squib right up the middle, fielded by Maloney at the 20. And Maloney's spin move out to the 30, and he loses the ball. Let's see who picks it up.
Beavercreek's at the bottom of that pile.
All right. Fielded by number 32, Jacob Fander at the 32. So Beavercreek needs an answer on this drive. Hold the ball for the last 6:47 and
get something going. First, I'm not even focusing on the whole drive right now, Jared. If I'm them, I'm just trying to get my first down. A great play, though, by number 16, Evan Fransman. He's been making some plays tonight on special teams. He forces that fumble. Brings out Hawker in a 2-receiver set.
Wenger gets the carry up the middle. Wenger squirts through the offensive line and out to the 35. That's a way to make a hole when your offensive line doesn't supply one.
You just squeeze through it, as you see on the City Barbecue replay.
He just shimmy shaked his way through that one.
Yeah, they were there to stop it. There was nothing to stop. Waden was.
That's probably
Wenger
his best run of the night.
Oh yeah.
And now an out pitch goes to number 32, Sebastian Rendon, and I think he loses about 2 on the play.
Dylan Hiltbrunner on the tackle, junior defensive back. He shoots that gap and gets him on the backside right there for a loss.
Terrible blocking out there on the edge by the Beavers. I mean, if you know the run is coming that way and you can't even stop your or stop the safety.
Not creating a lane whatsoever, and that'll bring him back out for another 3rd down.
3rd and 6. Hawker rolling to the right, out to
and
pass.
Max Wynn on the rush. Escapes, though, and right into other Centerville Elks.
It looks like number 46 is at the bottom of that pile, and Hawker is not up yet.
Yeah, it looks like Sam Vance came on the tackle. Max Wynn tried to get him right there.
Ooh, you see there at the end, his body is almost folded in half.
Yeah, Sam Vance came on the bottom right there.
Let's see if we can see a slowed version of that last replay again.
That could not feel good. Cody Hawker has been an essential part of the Beavers' offense all season. Cody Hawker, the quarterback, is 26 of 50 passing this year for only 458 yards and 8 touchdowns with 3
Beavercreek
picks.
has 50 passing attempts?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So not much passing, but as we know, they're a running team, and he has launched the attack this year with Wenger. Cody Hawker, 16th in rushing yards, and GWalk 573, and has more rushing touchdowns than his running back Wenger with 11. So very impactful, a leader nonetheless this season, and he will walk off the field with a standing ovation.
And it looks like I don't know which one the backup could be. I'm assuming it's either number 16, Brett Cherry, or number 18, Nick Brown. Those are the only other 2 quarterbacks listed on the roster. So let's see who comes out, because at least for this play, they are going to be leading this Beavers offense on, it's fourth and 8.
Down. So we'll see if Cody Hawker comes back out. That'll be a storyline to follow, no doubt, throughout the game. But Beavercreek is going to punt it for the 4th time now, as their offense has gotten absolutely nothing gone. What they? What? I've never seen anything like that. As the Beavers decide that they can kick a field goal longer than they can punt.
We try a 78-yard field goal? I've never seen that before.
That was very intriguing. City Barbecue Replay shows it all. So they line up in field goal formation for the punt there.
And he's about 30 yards short.
But that was going
Nice
longer than their
return.
punts, though.
Yeah.
So maybe making a strategy according to the rain there. Very creative, nonetheless, by Beavercreek.
But wouldn't the holder be considered down because his knee's on the ground? Because in high school football, once your knee is on the ground, you're down. So wouldn't he be considered down?
You're getting too deep, Jared.
I'm just trying to follow the rule book. That's probably in some bylaw, some subparagraph 7.
As Harmon takes the carry, gets about 2, maybe 3. It's a good, tough run there by Harmon, getting 3. Another stop by Blackmore. Reese Blackmore has been all over the line tonight. Another very impactful
Between him
defense.
and Noyce.
Yeah, they are running this defense and not doing that bad of a job, really, Jared.
And Harmon with the carry up the middle again.
And here we go. Centerville is going to put itself in a wildly successful situation for them. Short third downs seem to be where they score the most, where they are successful at moving the ball the most, shall I say. Those little slants and curls and screens and such. I like Grandin in a 4-receiver set. Grandin drops back.
Grandin looking to air it out. Incomplete. Intended to Spiewak. Good coverage by number 4, Chris Lawrence.
You see, throws it on the curl. Lawrence read it all the way. And Spiewak with a little frustration there at the end. Tiny shove. Centerville is going to bring on their punting unit.
A little bit iffy on this one.
So it'll be fourth and 3. But they are up by 10 with some serious rain. So I understand where they're coming from. So the snap, there's going to be a flag on the play. Oh, timeout. So timeout for the Elks.
I would agree with that punt because, I mean, you're giving the ball back to a quarterback that has not really handled the ball all year in either Brett Cherry or Nick Brown. So, I mean, because I have not seen Hucker on the sidelines yet. I don't know if he went back to the locker room or not.
No update yet if Hawker is okay to play, but that will be a big factor in the game.
At least for the rest of the game, because, I mean, he has, well, it's like you said, he's had, what, you said 500 passing yards this season?
Yeah, 500 passing yards, 8 passing touchdowns, and 11 rushing touchdowns.
Dang.
So he definitely the leader of the offense. But they still have Wenger. So
And they're still going for the punt.
Yeah. Well, Beavercreek.
Well, maybe. You can't say anything until the ball comes off the foot. A high, bad kick. And that one's going to go out of bounds close to the 30-yard line.
They're going to mark it down at the 30. Exactly.
With 3:20 or 3:30 left in the first half, Beavercreek will take over. And it looks like is that 16 coming onto the game for the Beavers?
Does look like number 16.
No, so number 16, Brett Cherry, will come onto the field. As you see, Hawker's there in the backfield just behind the dial of down, walking back towards the bench. His day must be done.
We'll see now. Actually, number 12.
12. 12's not an option. That's Maloney.
Well, he's running the ball.
Whoa, Maloney.
Maloney is running the ball.
Maybe Maloney should have ran the ball sooner.
So Jacob Maloney is going to come in as backup quarterback.
That's not listed on the roster.
Not at all, but it's going to work, and that'll be Beavercreek's first down of the night.
I think that surprised Centerville for that first play because you saw Brett Cherry taking snaps on the sideline with the center. So I wonder if they're going to even have Maloney throw it at all. Maloney hands it off to Wenger, and Wenger out to the 45.
So
gain of about 3.
Good stop there by Max Wynn, a Hilt runner, and Evan Fransman combining for the stop. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, Wenger just goes right up the middle to a dead halt.
Did you say Wynn too?
Yeah, Max Wynn. He came on the tail end of the play.
2nd and 7. 2:40 left in the first half. Maloney fakes the handoff. He gets out to the outside, and he'll lose a yard on the play. It'll be 3rd and 8.
So it looked like they have something going for.
And
oh, my
Wenger's
goodness.
on the ground.
Number 44, Caden Wenger, is struggling to get up. Not a good side at all.
Oh, it looks like
Beavercreek
his
Beavers.
arm was stepped on. Well, he's up off the field now. Did he stay in the game?
A huge gasping moment of fear for Beavercreek Beavers. As that would have marked the end of the game.
Did you hear how quiet the coach's room got next door to us? Did he stay into the game?
Yeah, Wenger is back out there. 2 minutes to go here in the first half.
Maloney back to pass. Maloney throwing it, and it's
Whoa.
incomplete. I believe it was tipped at the line.
I hope it was tipped at the line.
It's either that or maybe just coming off with a wet ball.
See Maloney dropping back to pass it.
Yeah, it was tipped right there. But he looks very awkward throwing the ball.
Yeah, and number 9, Drew Nanda, would have had a seam that would have probably got him the first down, but can't get the ball to him.
4th and 8, 1:50 left, and the play clock's down to 8, and it looks like the Beavers are going to go for it.
They are gonna go for it. The 2 receivers set. They look very confused.
Play clock's down to 2.
And that's going to be a flag or a timeout.
Beavercreek takes their 2nd timeout.
So miscommunication on the field again for the Beavers.
Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week is being recorded by the Miami Valley Communications Council media students from Kettering, Fairmont, and West Carrollton High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcast of this game and others from throughout the year. Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or mvcc.net. Get into the conversation and use the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay. Do you really think Beavercreek's going to go for it? I mean, down 10 in the pouring rain.
Well, I mean, their back is kind of pinned up against the wall here. Their offense has been very stagnant tonight, not getting many holes off the offensive line. Something's going to have to happen. They're going to have to make something happen sometime. And if they're actually going for it, I don't have anything opposed to that. Looks like they will punt it, though, Jared.
And this punt is trailing towards the sideline. It's down inside the 30, and it looks like it'll go out about the 32-yard line.
So the theme of dreadful punts for both teams will continue. You can see on the replay here, that just goes straight up, straight down. Little arc there, but overall probably netting about 30 yards. That'll give the ball back. 1:41 left to Grandin and the Elks offense. See if they can muster up something before the half real quick. Grandin will come out in his usual 4 receiver set with Harmon behind him. Grandin hand off to Harmon straight up the middle. Gains about 4 or 5 there. And Harmon will come out of there for this play. And Grandin will go back to 5 receivers on the field. Grandin dropping back, rolling to the right.
Grandin has a wide open receiver in
Spiewak.
Spiewak, and Spiewak catches it and gets out of bounds.
Oh, that is that Spiewak? Looked like number 1. No,
That's Polton.
Polton on the outside. That's Polton with a great play. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, Grandin processing his options and then ultimately
Boom, right there in the bread basket.
decides to go over top of the defense to Riley Polton. Instead of trying to control himself and go all the way, he just hops out of bounds real quick. Grandin will come back with 5 receivers again.
Low snap for Grandin. Grandin throws a bullet across the middle of the field, and incomplete intended. Is that Polton again?
No, that's Shelton.
Oh, that's Shelton.
He could have had it that time, but they threw it a little hard and a little too towards the defender. Good play made by the Beaver secondary. Great play there by the Beavers secondary. Fucking try.
Grandin back to pass. Grandin throws it to the outside, intended to Donnie Shelton. Just over a minute left in the first half.
Centerville up 10-0. Grandin takes the snap. Grandin rolling to the left.
And incomplete.
So Trey King catching the ball, and that'll push it to 4th down now.
4th and 10.
Centerville got the one big reception, but other than that, nothing doing.
And it looks like, and Brandon Walters will be out. This will probably be his 3rd punt of the night.
Centerville punting a lot, both teams punting a lot.
High snap, but corralled by Walters, and a high punt, but it's gonna go out at about the 22. So only about a punt or a net of about 20 yards.
Jared, I'm not expecting any more points from any of these teams the rest of the half. What about you?
With 50 seconds left, I'm going to say it's doubtful, especially with what we've seen in the backup quarterback situation from Beavercreek.
Yeah, no passing going there. So we'll see what the Beavers have in store.
I mean, granted, Centerville could easily get an interception or a fumble recovery.
Yeah, from what we've seen, not expecting anything explosive this drive, but any given Friday, Jared, any given Friday.
You got to get it in one last time, don't you?
So Maloney will be back out here as the Beavers quarterback.
Maloney hands off to Wenger, pulls it out, and Maloney still making moves out across the 40. And let's see how Beavercreek responds. Let's see if they get the line up there or not. 41.3 seconds.
So the only 2 big plays really by Beavercreek, both created by Jacob Maloney, and good ball navigation there. Thought he was going to be down about 2 different times.
And with how much Beavercreek's already ran 10 seconds off, I don't think they're going to try and do anything. But Wenger with a big hold to the outside. Wenger across the 50 and down to the 45. Let's see if Beavercreek gets up on the line. Beavercreek overran where they were going to spot the ball. Let's see if the Beavers spike it immediately. And they do. as you see here in the City Barbecue replay, just look at the holes that the offensive line created and just the ability for Wenger to speed to get away from the defenders.
And if only they could have done that on the first 4 drives, Jared, they probably wouldn't have a 0 up on the scoreboard, but better late than never, and it's just the first half, so hopefully that they'll carry over some momentum to the second half to make this a pretty good game. For the most part, their defense has been containing Centerville to a pretty good extent.
For them to get a easy make field goal, they're going to have to get about a 30-more yard gain. And Wenger, incomplete, and it's almost intercepted by the Beavers, or by the Elks.
And number 9, Drew Nanda, almost had that. If
That
held
one,
on, that
I think it
would've
was
been
a little bit
completion.
behind him. And again, with the rain, the inability to catch a wet ball. 15.2 seconds left from the 45. Beavercreek does have a timeout, but it is 3rd and 10. Would you say this is 4-down territory, depending on what you pick up? Wenger,
Yes,
nice end around. Here's Cherry, the backup quarterback, with the ball, and he's out to about the 45.
They lose the ball again. The ball is on the ground. That's Centerville's ball.
The clock never started.
And Beavercreek, they're pushing and shoving now.
The play clock on the stadium clock never started.
So it got very heated there. And
The refs, I think, are saying he's down. Let's see a all the 10 seconds did come off the play clock. They just took it off. Javon Henderson with a fumble recovery, but let's see in the replay. Well, let's just keep it on the referee huddle and see what they say.
so some disagreement definitely going on there between the referees.
Wenger with a personal foul, a 15-yard penalty against Beavercreek will push the Elks into the plus territory. Let's see if we can see a replay of that last play. I didn't see the ball come out.
I didn't. Until the last second, I saw someone hop on it, but
With 11.5 seconds left, the ball is at the 41. Let's see if Centerville has 3 timeouts. Let's see if they try to get into field goal range.
they have time to make something happen. Coming out in a 5-receiver set, and they have intentions just to do that. Alec Grandin back in the gun.
Grandin back to pass.
That's a screen to Spiewak, and he's going to be tackled in
out
open
to the
field.
40. Timeout by Centerville. That's a gain of 2.
The Centerville is going to try to make something happen here. Right before the half, as you see on the City Barbecue replay, busted screen there. Good play by the front 7 of the Beavers right there. 5.4 seconds left, and this should be a time for only one play and one play only for the Centerville Elks to try to score here before the half. It's been a game heavily leaned towards the Elks. And it shows no signs of turning around here as we inch towards the end of the first half.
4 seconds left. It'll be interesting to see what happens here for the Elks. They're going to line up 2 receivers to the top and 2 to the bottom.
And Grandin back here. Drops back.
Grandin going deep, and that is a catch out to the 30 for Shelton. Let's see, did they call a timeout in time?
And
That'll be the
nope.
end of the half. So Centerville leads the visiting Beavercreek 10-0 at the half on this last play by, it's a stat patter for the Beavers, or for the Elks and Grandin, but that's how the first half will end in our Week 10 final.
And so they got it off. They're going to say they got it off.
Well, no, if that's a first down, the clock stops immediately. They will put 1 second left, and Centerville calls the timeout to save the 1 second.
So they are getting every second of play clock they can. Literally every second. 10-0 Centerville. And they'll get another shot at the end zone before halftime. Grandin will lead his Elks back out for one more shot.
Play clock is down to 15. Grandin, the only one in the backfield, shotgun formation. Grandin back to pass. Grandin looking up the middle, has a first down.
Spiewak almost to the end zone, doesn't quite get there.
And that is now how the first half will end, with another nice stat pattern for Grandin on senior night to Spiewak. But at the end of the first half, Centerville leads 10-0 on senior night over the visiting Beavers. All right, welcome back to the second half of our MVCC Game of the Week finale for the 2017 season. Centerville is up 10-0 coming out of the third quarter. Beavercreek set to get the ball. Jeff, what has to happen for Beavercreek to get back in this rain-drenching game?
Well, Rain said it best, Jared. They're going to have to create holes. In this very wet game today, the passing game hasn't been quite on point. Quite as on point as the Centerville Elks would have liked it to be, but this rain is making offense way more complicated, which is, I think it's going to result in a low-scoring game, but Beavercreek can still get back in this one if they keep Centerville passing the ball, stop Ross Harmon, and keep on plunging holes in that Centerville defensive line. Because if Caden Wenger can get some seams, it can be a very close game very fast again. So here we go. The two sidelines are huddled up, and we are ready to start the second half. Special teams units coming on. And Brandon Walters will kick off for Centerville once again. Well, Jared, what are you expecting? What does Centerville have to do to maintain their lead through this game?
I think Centerville has to keep grinding the ball with Hardman when they get, or what, going down the field, and then once you get down close to the red zone, I think is where you give Grandin the shots to shine. So far, it's been almost flawless. Grandin has one pick.
And Walters is a very good kickoff to Jacob Maloney.
Maloney's still on his feet past the 30, close to the 35.
Tackled by Brandon Walters, the kicker. Good straight line pursuit of Maloney there, and they'll be called down at about the 30 to 35. So a pretty good kickoff by Brandon Walters, as you see there, picked up by Maloney. And now the Beavercreek Beavers offense is back in business. Storyline of this in the first half. Quarterback all season, starting quarterback Cody Hawker.
Out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, out for the rest of the game. Bring in a guy that, to our knowledge, was not a backup quarterback. Jacob Maloney looks kind of awkward up there, but he's shown big play potential many times, and here we go. Maloney keeping the ball here, and he's going to be tackled on the play by number 24, Dylan Hiltrunner, and number 16, Evan Franzman. See on the replay, Maloney faked the handoff to number 32, Rendon, and took it himself.
I don't even see Wenger out there.
Yeah, Rendon is in.
Wenger came up late in that first half rather gingerly.
Yeah, definitely taken some beatings all year. Caden Wenger been that power horse back. Maloney takes the snap. Pitch back.
To Rendon. No, that's Rendon. No, that's Noyce. Noyce with a carry out to about 40.
And that's going to bring the Beavers to third down. 3rd down and 6 now. See if Centerville can hang on in this possession. And Wenger still not out there. Rendon in place. They're in place for Wenger.
Play clock's down to 8, and I don't think Maloney knows what the play call is. Pitch out to Rendon, or Noyce.
Goodness.
And Noyce hit
Max
hard in the
Wynn.
backfield. Senior night moment for Max Wynn.
Max Wynn's actually a junior.
Oh, he's a junior?
Yeah.
I thought they called his name on for senior night.
No. So
Oh.
City Barbecue replay.
Oh,
there
my
are
goodness.
3 lead blockers for the Beavercreek Beavers.
And he gets through the one hole.
Yeah, they were all blocking way ahead of him. Max Wynn, though, comes in the hole behind seam perfectly to meet up with Rendon in the backfield. And that's going to be 4th and long.
4th and very long. Cherry's punt end over end. Bouncing at the 30.
And that's taken in by Riley Polton.
And Polton tackled by number 9 and number 78 of the Beavers. I know that's 31 Noyce and 78 Connor Tinch.
So here we go. Alec Grandin, senior quarterback, brings out the very dangerous Centerville Elks. And for the most part, Beavercreek Beavers have been doing a pretty good job of stifling the Elks' passing attack. But Ross Harmon, the running back, has taken rather a big toll on the Beavers' defense today, Jared. And Ross Harmon is another senior, too. And play clock at 10.
Harmon gets the carry up the middle.
That isn't Harmon, actually.
Oh, that isn't?
Nope, that's
39.
number 39. That'll be Cody Smith. He's a senior, too.
I think now in the second half, it's just all about getting seniors touches on senior night.
Yeah, Cody Smith takes this one in. He's been kind of the second running back all year.
And I think Centerville's perfectly content with taking time off the clock and driving as far down as they can.
Ross Harmon on the carry.
Harmon has the close to a first down run, about a gain of 9.
And Ross Harmon been outstanding tonight from the running back position, having himself a very good senior night. So 3rd and 1 for the Elks now. Harmon, the only halfback. Two receiver set.
Who's that behind Harmon? Or who was that 46 in front of Harmon? And he does get the first down. Late second half pull by Harmon. He kept the legs churning.
Gritty running there by Ross
Watch this.
Harmon.
I thought he's held up there, but watch the legs. They never stop moving, and he gets just past the 48 out to the 40, or past the 47 out to the 48.
Absolute hustle. And your question on the last drive, lead blocker was Sam Vance. Senior defensive lineman, younger brother of Will, former quarterback Alec
Grandin keeper. Grandin running, still on his feet, trying to rip the ball out, but tackled by number 5 of the Beavers, Adam Grader.
Jacob Maloney had him for a while there, but he just kept on pushing him and not the strength to bring Alec Grandin down. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, Grandin keeps it on the read option, voids that seam, goes straight towards Maloney with the stiff arm, keeps on going.
Maloney trying to rip the ball off. Heads up play by Maloney.
And brought down at the tail end of that play by number 5, Grader.
Shelton goes in motion from top to bottom of the screen. What is that? Who's Grandin faking out with that? But Grandin, nice moves. Grandin at the 10, down to the 5, and tackled at the 5 by number 10, Jordan Williams. But whoever was Grandin faking it
whoever
to?
He was faking out, he faked them out.
I guess.
Alec Grandin with
Harmon
an excellent run.
was nowhere near it. He was out blocking to the left.
I feel like it was just a little delay run. I don't feel like it was supposed to be a strong fake, but rather just a QB draw.
And you know all that was for nothing. It was holding on the offense. So that was about a 35, 36-yard run is going to result in a 10-yard loss via the holding penalty.
And another mistake by the Centerville offense that holds their self back.
If Centerville has the playoff game for sure next week here, but if this Centerville Elks team plays that way, the way they're playing,
I don't know. I feel like they're playing aloof, like a little bit, just a little bit. You know what I mean? Like they're playing just like aloof enough to get by.
Grandin run up the middle, and he's hit by number 34 just at the line of scrimmage. That is Matthew DeShields.
Yeah, and there's no knocks that I'm speaking on the Centerville offense. They've been nearly flawless all year. I'm just saying, I feel like they can be a little bit better, if you know what I'm saying, Jared. I feel like they're making a little too many mistakes that isn't their identity at all. So Alec Grandin gains 1 on the keep.
It'll be 2nd and 5.
There'll be 3 receivers out wide for Grandin.
You got Harmon to the left and Smith to the right. And Smith Grandin pulls it out. Grandin will be out close to the first down to the 19, and it looks like he has to get to the 18 for a first down. It'll be 3rd and very short.
Good tackle there by Beavercreek, number 36.
That is Steve Lalanis? I don't know.
Steve. Tackle by Steve.
Yes, tackle by Stevie.
Grandin back in the same set here.
3rd and 1.
No huddle offense.
I'm going to assume Harmon should get this one with the power running. Harmon does not. Grandin, keeper up the middle.
Again.
Grandin's at the 20, down to the 15, and I think he'll be tackled at about the 16 by number 10, Jordan Williams, once again.
And I like the way Alec Grandin runs. He's not being too impatient. He's running very methodically, keeping his head on a swivel. As you see, he doesn't move very fast. It's just those long, methodical strides, and he knows exactly where he's going.
Kind of like Joe Flacco's run last night. He ain't running for speed, but he's just so tall, he has the ability to take
the speed walk out
yards.
wide, nobody on him, but they run it with Harmon instead. Harmon
with a fumble recovered by Maloney.
And you see Donnie Shelton look back like, what was that? He got tackled. The ball came out so hard it looked like it was thrown. We could see a replay on that. A great play by the Beavercreek defense. As you see on the City Barbecue replay, Harmon goes up the middle, and it's just...
Goodness. Sheldon's like, wait, where'd that come from?
He is tackled incredibly hard by Bryce Noyes, making another play on the night.
Beavercreek has to capitalize on this if they want a chance to win this game.
Yeah, that was a very
do or die drive.
A gigantic turnover there, and
this could be a 14-point swing.
Yeah, now
in favor of Beavercreek.
Now it's their opportunity to swing that momentum, as you said, Jared. Wanger back, Maloney at quarterback.
Wanger does not get the carry. Maloney does. Maloney's in the end zone. Let's see.
He stepped into the end zone, Jared.
No signal yet. They're going to call him at the 1.
I don't know what he was doing. He was staggering, and he kind of just went backwards and more backwards. You can tell that he is not prepared back there. He does not look by any means ready for what was about to happen. When that play got snapped, he was kind of franticking. So penalty anyways. So the penalty is declined. So that'll be 2nd and 14, and they'll call him down at the 1.
The half yard. I mean, look where they ran. Where the ball is. The end of the ball is on the goal line.
And now, very curious to see what Beavercreek does. Trying to get him off sides again, not working at all. Centerville's defense have been so disciplined today. And he drops it, and that's recovered.
Recovers it for
Nope. No, Beavercreek falls on it, and that's going to be a safety. Caden Wenger fell on it. I don't know if it was a bad snap or what.
Centerville's defense comes up with a safety, a 2 more points for the Elks.
So
and I'm going to almost say that we can stick a fork in this one.
Yeah, more fantastic play by the Centerville D. Beavercreek isn't doing anything.
Beavercreek is not moving the ball.
Getting no ball movement whatsoever.
And Maloney is holding his hand. No, that's number 10. Williams was sitting there clutching his hand. I think he's hurt. Maybe if we could see a replay of that last play.
Not looking good for Beavercreek at all. The City Barbecue replay here. See the bad snap.
And Wenger never got out of the end zone.
Goes almost straight to the ground, and Sam Vance falling on him there.
And you see this ref coming in from the left side of the screen. He's looking to see if Wenger and the ball are outside the end zone or not. That was a heads-up play by the ref to see where the ball was before he made the decision.
Yeah, it was very clear that Caden Wenger was curled up inside the end zone with that ball. So unfortunate circumstances for Beavercreek with Cody Hawker going out, but you got to have a guy ready. You can't have a guy just go out there and look lost as Jacob Maloney has tonight. But Beavercreek, great effort to force the turnover in the first place, but can't do anything with it. And now Centerville will have 2 points and the ball kicked their way. So let's see what Alec Grandin can do on another drive.
Looks like number 45 on to punt for the Beavers, Sean Keck. I thought a safety was a punt.
Beavercreek's defying the special team rules tonight.
I play by my own rules.
Apparently.
Can they onside it?
No, I don't think so.
It's not a good kick.
The squib, that's leaning towards the
Go
out of bounds line. That's a flag.
Bounds. Yep. I thought safeties were punts.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. I don't write the rule book. And Beavercreek doesn't follow it. I don't know.
There we
But
go.
this is a terrible kick. I mean, he directed it right to the right sideline, out of bounds.
I don't think it was supposed to go out of bounds, but it took a couple bad bounces towards the right sideline, and now Centerville is set up with pretty good field position at the 35.
Centerville taking over first and 10 from the 35.
And the rain hasn't looked to affect Centerville's offense at all, as they leaned on the run anyways today. And Smith going for approximately -2 yards in that carry. Beavercreek all over it. And number 5, Schrader on the play. Coming straight up the middle. Grandin taking the ball. 3 receivers set up. 2 backs in the backfield. Grandin handoff. Nope. Fakes the handoff. But
And he's tackled for about a 4-yard loss back to the 31.
wrapped up by Schrader once again. Grader. Excuse me, not Schrader. Adam Grader, number 5, the linebacker. Great effort tonight, and possibly his last game as a high school football player. So Grandin has usually had the tendency to run it out of this formation, and he'll pass it. Play
Brandon
action.
back to throw. Deep pass to the far sideline against Spiewak. And Spiewak comes up with a catch. He's at the 30, 20, 10.
He's
and
beat him. He's
Spiewak-
gone.
Spiewak has a well, let's see. Let me do a quick math. A 58-yard touchdown catch and run. I don't know if my math is correct on that one.
Somewhere around 60. That's all you really need to know. But Spiewak, 9th touchdown on the
68 yards.
year, and that'll be Grandin's 20th passing touchdown of the year, and over 2,000 yards now for Alec Grandin passing.
And there was a pass interference flag on that. If you watch this, it's pass interference on the defense as he was holding his arm, And great awareness, footwork along the sideline. And from there on, it's just 6 for the Elks.
Yeah, Chris Lawrence, bad awareness there to kind of second step that guy. He let him catch it, and he kind of gathered himself and couldn't catch back up to Spiewak. Great acceleration on the side for the 6'4" senior. And wow, has that kid been something this year.
His second touchdown of the evening.
Yeah, not expected to be one of the best receivers in GWalk by any means, but Jake Spiewak definitely putting his name into consideration along with Stephen Victoria and LaChristian Smith of Wayne and others like the Hayden Shrub from Piqua as Brendan Walters nails the extra point.
19-0 now, leads the Elks, 2:36 left in the third quarter.
And that's just about the nail in the coffin, isn't it, Jared?
I would assume so. I mean, with Beavercreek's inability to move the ball.
At all. Just at all. Jacob Maloney gathering the only successful plays they've even had
He's
tonight.
a quarterback. He's thrown into the position, something he didn't expect to do in the last game of the season. He wants to be out there hitting people and catching passes, not trying to throw it and dodge people hitting him.
And, it's not just the last game of the season, Jared. It's a game against Centerville going into if they win this, they're no doubt in the playoffs. And I can't. Beavercreek.
Well, Beavercreek had to have a lot happen for them. They had to have almost 7 teams ahead of them lose to even remotely have a chance. But it all starts off with a win. You have to win. I mean, it doesn't matter if the other 7 teams lose and you lose. That keeps you out. But, I mean, Centerville the last 2 possessions, their offense and their defense with that safety is playoff potential.
Everything looking stellar. And
I mean,
it's the last game of the season. You
number 6 team in the state is the Elks. I mean, number 3 in Division I.
Yeah, the Elks.
And that's going up against a lot of Canton and Cleveland teams and some Cincinnati teams that they'll end up playing in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're one of the best teams in the state, no doubt. And so very tough situation.
I mean, Centerville and Wayne are the only teams in Division I in the past 20 years to make it to the state championship game for football for the Dayton area in Division I. So, and with the way this Centerville team is playing and the way how disciplined they are, I don't see why Centerville can't go that far into the playoffs.
Yeah, Centerville playing with strong intent
and then we have another team in Valley View. Valley View undefeated this year. I mean, I don't know how they did week 10, but I mean 9-0 and they're blowing teams out. But Valley View looks like they're playoff teams that won 3 state championships in 4 years back in the 90s. This team looks just as good as that, as Walter's kick from the 40 goes deep into the end zone. But we have 2 teams that we have for sure watching in the playoffs that could bring back some success. And now Beavercreek on their offense on the field again. Do they have? They have not picked up a first down in this half yet, have they?
I don't believe in this half now. They got 2 first downs
at the end of the half.
The last 2 drives by simple runs by Maloney.
Yeah. Who would have thought his biggest runs?
And Beavercreek still looks confused at their play call. We'll see. Maloney pitch out to Nanda.
Oh my goodness, and Nanda's hit hard.
And number 4 on the play, Ross Garrett, along with number 40, Dylan Haller. 2 seniors. And good hit on the outside. And better read by Ross Garrett. So Beavercreek will come out here with a 1 receiver set. Rendon in the backfield, and they're going to try to get him off sides again.
That has not worked all night.
Very ineffective for the Beavers. Maloney back. Pitch out to Nanda again. Same direction, same result. Number 16, Evan Franzman with the tackle. Franzman, the senior defensive back, has had a great night being involved in special teams and defense, making a lot of plays for the Elks. Great senior night for that kid. Evan Franzman. So here we go. 2 receiver set this time for Beavercreek. Same look on the interior of the offense. And the same little fake motion, tries to get him offside again, and it doesn't work again at all.
3rd and 13.
Maloney under center.
Maloney going to run it himself, and Maloney hit in the
Goodness.
backfield. That is number 44 and 40.
Max Wynn and Dylan Howler. And that kid has been everywhere tonight. Number 44, Max Wynn.
Gee, I think, what's his name? Nanda was supposed to block Wynn.
A lot of people were supposed to block Wynn tonight, man. That kid, he's good.
His
He's
senior
a
year,
good linebacker.
he's going to be a monster his
Yeah.
senior year next year.
Only a junior, Max Wynn, has been no doubt the most impactful piece of his Centerville defense. And he'll return for one more year. But not done quite this year. They'll be looking to make a really deep playoff run, Jared. This is a good Centerville team. That's going to be a punt for Beavercreek.
A high punt, and it's going to take a
Not
bounce
into
and
the
roll
50.
out to the 41, maybe the 42. With 21.9 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. Centerville has the ball and looks to add more points. And it goes out of bounds, it looks like right at the 41.
So now just really draining the clock for Centerville here.
That's really all you can afford to do.
And we'll expect Harmon to get it here. And
Nope. Grandin's going to tuck it and keep it. And Grandin is out past the 40, down to about the 39. And I believe that'll be the last play of the 3rd quarter as the clock winds down to 0. 19 to nothing lead the Centerville Elks going into the 4th and final quarter of our MVCC game of the week number 10, the finale for the 2017 football season.
Yeah, Beavercreek has just been not able to do anything tonight on the offensive
It
side
just
of the ball.
seemed, I mean, even before Hawker and Wenger went out, the Beavers weren't really moving the ball successfully either.
Mm-hmm.
But
Definitely having a tough game.
not the way you wanted to end the season.
Yeah, but these kinds of games are almost expected against Centerville. I mean, of course not this stagnant offensively, but still, Centerville is an elite team on an Ohio standard. So if I'm Beavercreek, I'm not feeling too bad about myself. They had a really progressive season, and they're going to lose a lot of good guys, but at the same time, this is a very good season to build on. Nothing to get their heads down about at all. Some big wins this year.
Stadium music's playing YMCA. Trying to pump up what crowd is left. I think that's just to keep them warm.
Yeah, this is everybody got drenched tonight, and the rain is still coming down in layers.
Well, we've been able to avoid rain all year, and it just has to it has to happen at some point to someone. And at least it was the last week of the game.
And
And
Donnie
Shelton
Shelton
on an end around. Shelton's still moving. Shelton down to the 30, close to the 31, and it'll be close to a first down. Let's see what the refs say.
Here you go on the City Barbecue replay. Donnie Shelton in motion, takes the handoff on the end around, makes one person miss, follows the blocking, but ultimately tackled by Noyce. So that penalty. Penalty sets him back. And Grandin will hand it off to Hartman. And that guy has been the workhorse for the last 2 weeks. Very good back-to-back performances to end the season for the senior, Ross Hartman. See a good run there. And a highlighted player on Beavercreek's defense, been making a lot of plays tonight as well.
Noise.
Yeah, Noyce is everywhere on the end of that tackle too as well. Number 31, Bryce Noyce. Is he a senior as well?
Noise is.
He is, yeah.
He is a senior,
So-
6 foot, 185-pound senior.
And this is going to be his last game as a Beavercreek Beaver. A very good one at that. And
Grandin aired
gets
it out,
destroyed.
and Grandin picked. That is number 9?
No,
Number 8, Maurice Wilson. I think that's his second pick of the game.
night. So both picks on Grandin, and he has more picks on Grandin than anybody else in G-Walk because Grandin has 3 picks this entire season before the game.
And he has 2 tonight to the same guy.
So Grandin's senior night. Been a pretty good one other than those 2 picks. And here we go. Maloney will bring the Beavers offense back out. And Maloney dropped back.
Maloney's catch is caught at midfield by number 9, Drew Nanda. Beavercreek has something going. They have to keep those plays going down the field. Maloney back to pass, pitches out to Nanda, and Nanda has what Beavercreek has not been able to do all night is run on this Centerville Elks defense. And Nanda's coming up slow, and he comes up gingerly. A loss of 2 on the play. Coming back out after the 2-yard loss, 2nd and 12.
And
Back to pass.
Number 24 on the sack, Dylan.
Holding on to
Hiltrunner.
the ball way too much.
So actually a pretty successful play for the 3rd first down of the game for the Beavers. And it goes right back down for a sack. Dylan Hiltrunner coming off the edge, straight for him. That'll bring it to almost 9 minutes down. 9 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Excuse me. And Maloney drops the ball off the snap. Again. Have a rough night for the Beavers on offense. See on the City Barbecue replay, it didn't even look like he fully had it in his hand. And Nanda on the recovery there.
So I'm assuming all likelihood's a punt here for the Beavers, as they've not been able to throw the ball with much success. And I believe if Centerville gets the ball one more time, I think, well, here we go with that weird on. Oh, no, it's going to be a fake. Maloney going, throwing it, and it's complete.
Oh.
And it's incomplete. In and out of the hands. That was intended for number 45, Sean Keck. This was the best looking play all night for the Beavers, and it's just, oh my.
It's too slippery, man.
That's
Slippery
the problem of throwing a wet football.
So Beavercreek started to get a little something maybe going. And
I can tell you something. Centerville's going to practice
down.
throwing wet balls this week.
Yeah.
They're going to be soaking balls in the rain or footballs in the rain. or in the tub. That's how they practice it, I guess.
So here you go, Grandin.
Grandin going to lead the seniors out on the field one more time. And Harmon gets the kick. No, 33? That's a new one for the Elks.
Jake Ranke, senior night feature. And the announcer thought I was Harmon too.
Well, it's been Harmon all season. I don't think the spotter was doing his job. Tackle goes to number 54, Noah Koenig.
So 2nd and 9 here for the Elks.
I don't even think Harmon's in the game.
Ranke again.
Ranke with a carry. Tackle Koenig once again, and a slow Beaver to get up.
And that's number 54 for the Beavers, Noah Koenig, the guy who just made the last 2 tackles.
So a timeout on the field. Tonight's MVCC High School Football Game of the Week finale is being recorded by the Miami Valley Communications Council, media students from Kettering, Fairmont, and West Carrollton High Schools. Go to our website, mvcc.net, to find a schedule for rebroadcasts of this game and others throughout the season. Catch tonight's game powered by City Barbecue on Spectrum Cable Channel 21 or mvcc.net. Use the hashtag CityBarbecueReplay to get in on the conversation.
So Grandin back to pass, and he's going to
Grandin's going to keep it and run. Grandin out to the... Oh, Grandin tackled by the shoelaces. And there's some pushing and shoving there. That was between 58 of the Beavers and number 33, I think, of the Elks.
33 just came into the game. You see Grandin taking that himself, slipping by, and he just...
I think...
he goes
he
down
did.
by himself.
Yeah, it was...
He got down.
Tackled by the...
clock out.
Tackled by the 25-yard line.
So Grandin, an excellent past 2 weeks running the ball, really broke out with his feet. He has over 300 rushing yards in the season now. Over 2,000 passing yards. And truly one of the best weapons in GWalk, no doubt.
And there's so many to choose from. I mean, Grandin's going to keep it and run, and Grandin's going to be tackled behind the line of scrimmage for about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
That's number 58, Demetrius Hardiman, and also number 5, Adam Grader. Again, the senior linebacker been everywhere tonight, number 5. Really good game for Grader. You see him coming at the end of that tackle towards his knees.
That's not a good shot to take if you're the quarterback. Not right in the knee. 3 yard loss on the play, 2nd and 13.
Grandin back once again, and they're just going to try to run this one out. And he keeps it again. So that'll put it to 3rd down. Noisy on the Bryce Noyce on a tackle again. He has to be in double digits by now. He's been everywhere tonight too, along with Schrader.
I would assume so.
I got to say, after calling 2 Centerville's games, I haven't seen him line up with less than 3 receivers.
Oh, bobbled on the snap, and number 33 lands on it. You said that's Ranke?
Yeah, Ranke. Jake Ranke. The senior again getting another carry.
That'll make it 4th and 14, and let's see.
They just bobbled the entire snap.
It was a high snap, and he tried to just get it to...
Bobbled all the way. And Centerville is going to stay on here, perhaps run the rest of the clock out with this play. Actually, no. I think they're going to call a timeout when the play clock hits 0. Yep. So took that as much time as they could, and I think they're going to punt it now.
Punt. Let's see if Walters can make a field goal.
I guess. They got nothing to lose.
Rain looks like it's let up, I believe. Maybe. Nope. I can still see it
Just a
off
bit.
the far.
Yeah, it's like sprinkling, though.
It's a cold sprinkle.
A fourth quarter score, Springboro 38, Lebanon 7.
Tonight's game, MVCC Game of the Week, is also sponsored by Miami Valley Adapted Sports. MVAS is a Paralympic sports club that provides recreational and competitive sporting opportunities for individuals with physical disabilities. Visit MiamiValleyAdaptedSports.org for more information. Go to mvcc.social to find us all over social media. Follow us for updates all season long and join in on the conversation using hashtag City Barbecue Game of the Week or City Barbecue Replay.
So here we go now. Centerville coming back out
Grandin's coming back out too.
with their offense. Yeah.
So it's going to be Spiewak and Donnie Shelton on the bottom of your screen.
Then Melzer and Trey King on the top of your screen.
4th and 14 from the 30. Grandin back to pass. Grandin incomplete, intended to, was that
Spiewak.
Spiewak, yep.
Yeah, it got a little inside there.
So with 4:13 left in the game, Beavercreek takes over at the 29-yard line, but unless they can get a couple Hail Mary passes going down the field.
Very little hope according to how their offense is played tonight. And
That's kind of a bad read
Yeah.
by
bad
Grandin.
Bad throw by Alec Grandin there. Doesn't really matter, though.
Not when you're up 19 with just over 4 minutes left in the game.
The Beavers' offense with really just three
Big plays
three
tonight, and
successful
that's about
plays.
it. Maloney back to pass. Maloney is
Picked
intercepted
off.
by Polton. Polton out there returns it back to the 25, and Centerville forces their first turnover of the game.
And if the coffin wasn't nailed shut, it's done
nailed
now.
shut
Yeah.
and covered with concrete.
Yeah, it's gone now. This game is
Ooh, look,
safe to say it's over.
Did you see the extension that Polton went behind his back to catch that over the head?
And again, you can see where their backup quarterback, Jacob Maloney, is not a true QB. He got too much air under that ball. Very awkward. It's wet out. It's just a poor night for this kid, man. He just got thrown in the wrong circumstances at the wrong time and has made the best of a crappy situation. So regular formation for Centerville. Hand off up the middle to Jake Reinke.
So, I mean, how would you evaluate Brent Ullery did in his first year at Centerville?
Excellence. There's only one word I can describe their season in, and that's excellent. He's reestablished the foundation of Centerville.
So, sort of what his father put down.
Yeah, he's like the system kind of brought that back in his own twist. And I think Brent Ullery has done an excellent job at Centerville this year.
And I think we're going to see him for years to come.
No doubt. I think they're going to have a really successful playoff run this year. Just have a feeling.
I mean, come into your first year, 9-1 record. You beat Wayne at Wayne. You beat Springfield on the road. You beat Fairmont here in a close game. I mean, headlining wins up and down their season. Your first year in, he wins the National East outright. Clinches the number 1 seed with the win tonight.
Yeah, and I have no doubt Alec Grandin is going to be first team all GWAC when it comes around. That kid.
That one's going to be tough because you got so many different quarterbacks.
Well, I don't know. This kid has just been so outstanding. No one has embodied a system more than Alec Grandin this year.
I mean, why would Rashad McKee from Wayne not be it with the weapons he has at Wayne and with LaChristian Smith and Stephen Victoria? And look at Miles Johnson in Northmont.
Yeah.
I mean, he
coming over from Fairmont last year.
It's just there's two. So I mean, there's a lot of playmakers on this team, and Centerville's going to lose a lot of playmakers. But I mean, it's like I talked with Ullery at the beginning of the season. it doesn't matter the name on the back of your jersey. You play for the team on the front. And I think they have the ability to replace those players. And Spiewak will haul in his 3rd touchdown on senior night.
And there
That
we
is
go.
my player of the game right there. Number 1, Jake Spiewak. His 3rd touchdown catch of 20 or more yards tonight.
And what a career to complete. These two kids all gear going back and forth to each other.
He goes over Christian Lawrence.
And speaking of all G-Walk, that young man right there is put on a
He is an
show.
all G-Walk contender at the wide receiver position.
Jake Spiewak and Donnie Sheldon put in great numbers this year.
Spiewak has a career night tonight, I bet.
900 yards and 10 touchdowns on the season. He finishes
This
with tonight.
will definitely put him over 1,000 yards. And you said 10 touchdowns he came in with?
No, he came in with 7.
7, so he has 10
Yeah.
touchdowns. Brendan Walters, he missed the extra point. 3:09 left.
So Alec Grandin finishing.
No, he
with
did
over-
make the extra point. The scoreboard need to get it right.
And Alec Grandin this season is going to finish with over 2,100 passing yards, 21 passing touchdowns, and 5 picks, along with over 300 rushing yards and 6 rushing touchdowns. Fantastic season for number 7, the senior quarterback for Centerville. The other side, Caden Wenger, has had a disappointing last game for Beavercreek. Not much going on there. So, kicking off for Centerville will be Brandon Walters. Receiving for Beavercreek, Jacob Maloney. Backup quarterback / starting wide receiver / backup defensive back.
/ backup quarterback. Maloney's going to... No, that's not Maloney. That's 32, Sebastian Rendon.
And Rendon's going to keep on going, and he's churning right here.
He's out close to the 40, out to the 39.
So solid return, a little late for explosive play, but Rendon, a susceptible return.
Hello? All right.
Ball spotted on the 39-yard line. For a 21-yard return for the Beavers.
So a 21-yard return for Rendon, 1st and 10 at the 39. You see on the City Barbecue replay. Jacob Maloney has been quarterbacking the whole second half. Goes straight up the middle to Rendon. It goes nowhere. Wrapped up immediately by number 79, Ian Rothery. Another senior tonight. Apparently a fan favorite as the crowd goes nuts.
I think that was the last senior to check into the game.
Oh, okay.
And so I think that makes every senior get something on the stat sheet.
And Maloney,
Hands off to Rendon.
good churning by Rendon. Brought down by Dylan Hiltbrunner. As you can see on the City Barbecue replay, Rendon chips off about 5, 6 on the play. And Maloney takes the snap, handoff to Rendon, and he gets the first down. So first down tonight by Rendon, and tackle by number 85, the senior Javon Henderson. That man is a big boy, 6'4", 270. A good part of this defensive line. Maloney once again drops back. That's a pass.
It's incomplete.
And the senior Adam
Intended,
Grader
yeah.
almost came down with that one. A very involved linebacker tonight.
Good coverage by Donnie Shelton on the outside edge. Oh my goodness, that is a wounded duck if you've ever seen one.
Yeah. Jacob Maloney. Getting orders from the sideline here. They'll come in their usual formation, only will one receiver to the left. Hand off to Redone.
Rendon will have a nice run out past the 50.
And tackled again by number 3, Donnie Shelton.
Well, yeah, they only got one receiver left just because Maloney's come in to play quarterback for the receiver position. And I think Centerville and Beavercreek are perfectly content with letting this one just tick away.
Hand off to Rendon again.
And he almost fumbled that handoff.
Tackle by number 46, Sam Vance.
It'll be 4th and 1 at the 40. They have to get to the 39, and Beavercreek's all but going to go for it. About 50 seconds left in the game. Maloney's going to line up under center, and
Oh my
how is that not a
goodness.
false start?
They literally sat down and said, hike.
Did you see how quickly the center got up?
That was intense, man. That was a
Woo!
gaping hole for Maloney.
And he has enough for a first down and then some. I mean, look at the center.
He got up there fast, man.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I
that's
don't
a
think
false start.
Centerville was expecting that one.
The offensive line wasn't ready for it.
Maloney back to pass, and Maloney gets rid of it. And it falls to the ground at the 20, incomplete, intended to number 5, Grader.
And that brings the clock down to 24.3. Should be 2 plays, if that, left in this one. And it's completely over, Jared. It's been that way since the end of the 3rd quarter. And what are your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Final thoughts are Centerville virtually flawless once again. Grandin had 2 picks tonight. Not really worried about that. I mean, the weather had a lot to do with that. Jake Spiewak probably had a career night tonight. And I don't think we're done seeing some highlight plays from the Elks as
Here we
number
go.
40 comes up with a huge sack for the Elks. That is
Dylan Howard, the senior defensive lineman. And one last senior getting it done tonight off the edge.
And that one is going to do it as it's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is it in the game. Well, Beavercreek calls the timeout with 4.1 seconds left.
So Beavercreek will get one last playoff for pride here.
Are you sending in the field goal unit just to get some points so you don't go home with a
There's
goose egg?
no way they're going to make a field goal from there.
Who knows?
I imagine they'll try one last pass or something like that along those lines.
Hook and ladder. I've always wanted to call one of those.
Yeah, not much to say about this one. Complete domination for Centerville. And really, when Cody Hawker went out, that's when
That's
Beavers
when
Creek's
all
chances
hope
of
went
winning
out
went out.
the
Yeah.
window. So 4.1 seconds left. Beavercreek, one last play, barring a defensive penalty. Maloney gonna go back, hand off to Brent. Cherry makes a tackle miss.
Cherry making more miss, and he's up.
And that is how the game will end. Centerville wins 26-0 over the visiting Beavercreek Beavers.
Ooh.
In our Week 10 game of the week, Centerville clinches the number 1 seed for Division I Region 3, clinches the home game for next week, and clinches an outright title with the National East in the GWAC. Centerville moves to 9-1 on the year, and Beavercreek's playoff chances end tonight with a 26-0 loss as Beavers fall 6-4. Any final thoughts on the game tonight, Jeff, or the rest of the season?
Centerville has a very good future in the playoffs, and I think they're going to make a deep run. They have a lot of potential for a very deep run this year, Jared.
Thank you for City Barbecue joining us for the first time this season for all 10 games. Thank you for the rest of the Miami Valley Communication crews for a hard-fought season. And thank you between the 3 schools, Centerville, Fairmont, Miamisburg, and West Carrollton for helping out. It's been a wonderful season. We'll see you when basketball comes around.